Hi everybody, what is up? Hope y'all are doing great. Welcome to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about wedding planning during this crazy time. And yeah, so this is going to be more of a chill video. We're not really going to go over a list on how to plan a wedding, but it's basically just some tips that I can give you with my whole experience of planning a wedding. So I just kind of want to tell you what I've been going through. I haven't had my wedding yet. It's coming up soon. So I just thought I feel like I have learned a lot throughout this entire process, and I just kind of want to share what I've learned so far. So just chill, relax, especially if you're planning a wedding right now. Relax, it's gonna be fine. Just sit back, have some coffee, let's chill and let's just talk. Things are finally starting to open up. I am super happy right now. I am in Miami, Florida. So it has been kind of shut off from the rest of Florida. It hasn't been really treated as the rest of Florida has. So we are finally starting to open up, which has been great, and it's brought my stress level down from here to here. So happy about that. But basically I just kind of want to go over things like what I've learned so far, and it has been a crazy ride, but you learn things along the way. You're planning a wedding, it's kind of crazy. You only plan a wedding like once in your life unless you're like a wedding planner or something. So I got engaged in March of 2019, so it's been over a year, and honestly that was a really good date for me to get engaged because it gave me plenty of time. But again, I hadn't been really thinking about like what I wanted in a wedding at all. Like, you just think about getting engaged, but then once you get engaged, you're like, wow, this is getting real. We should probably start talking about wedding planning. And I'm not saying we should have rushed into it, because I feel like I kind of did. I was like, okay, I need to pick my bridesmaids. Okay, I gotta do this. Like, just, even if you have like even a couple months before your wedding, you don't have to rush too much. Of course you want to start things early. But the biggest thing is not to act on your emotions, and you really got to think logically. So with us, it was kind of crazy. I would suggest y'all to kind of figure out, what kind of wedding are you thinking about? There's different types. I mean, you can have a large ceremony. You could have a medium-sized ceremony. You could even have a small and intimate ceremony, or you could elope, which people, do too. It's become a lot more popular now. And the good thing about this is I feel like the wedding culture has changed a lot. I feel like people are being more chill with their weddings, and I love that so much because you're not stressed. It doesn't have to be this huge formal event. You could really just have a cool backyard ceremony, and I feel like that's getting, the boho rustic vibe is really in right now. And I feel like it will be in because everyone's like, okay, let's not go crazy with our wedding. If you can have something chill if you want to. But the big thing is to start thinking about that now. If you just got engaged, just start talking with your fiance. Hey, what are you looking at? It's been hard because with us, we kind of wanted, I think we wanted to elope at first. We were like, okay, why don't we just, all this money, because a wedding is expensive. So we were like, okay, with all this money, we could go on this bomb honeymoon. And you're not wrong, but we started thinking about it more. It's like, a wedding is once in a lifetime. It's important to us, so we decided to have it. We knew we wanted a large ceremony, we just didn't know where. And we tried out a lot of things. So I think we were also pretty young. I just turned 22 today. So yeah, I'm pretty young. A lot of my friends aren't married. I don't even think I have that many friends married. So I feel like it was kind of hard to find advice. So I'm really lucky now that I have things like YouTube and Google to help me out. So I had to research a lot and decide what not just me and my fiance wanted to do. And we really talked about that. So again, do not think emotionally, think logically. So we thought it would be great to have this wedding on our family's ranch, and it would have been fine and dandy. We'd just invite some people over. But once we started thinking about things, we're like, wow, okay, it's not as easy as you think. You have a lot of things that go into an outdoor wedding. So as soon as I started writing out everything on my notebook, I just realized this is pretty overwhelming. And this comes to my second tip, and this is really big, and it really depends on the person and where you live. But we did decide not to have it in Texas because it was pretty far, and all of our family, all of our bridesmaids and groomsmen and stuff, most of them live in Florida. So we were just like, we're gonna keep it in Florida. That was a big step. I feel like after we made that step, it really, like, our stress levels went down. So that really helped, and we kind of looked into it again with that whole list that I had. But we were like, okay, there's a lot of things that go into a wedding, and Miami's huge. Like, where do we even start? So I didn't really think about it before. I don't know. I didn't know. Who knows how to plan a wedding? Come on, like, especially if you're this young, you're not really focused on this stuff. So we're like, okay, I think it's a good idea to have a wedding planner, especially here. And honestly, that was such a good idea. But again, we didn't have too much time either, because in August we decided to study abroad in Kazakhstan, if y'all have seen the other video. So we didn't, and then, it was going to be kind of crazy trying to plan a wedding from there. So we needed to find a planner ASAP, pretty much. And we looked around. So we told them, hey, this is our venue, and yeah, we really like your work, we would like to work with you. And one of the planners decided to meet us at Starbucks, and then we kind of met with them. They seemed okay, they weren't bad, but this other planner legitimately went to the venue. Like, he was like, listen, I am going to meet you at the venue, we'll look around at it, get started, and I was like, that means so much to me. Like, if you're gonna go straight to the venue and start planning things out when, I haven't even said that I'm gonna hire you yet, like, that just shows me how much of a hard worker you are. So it was pretty much that we're like, we already have our minds made up. By the time we met with the second planner, we're like, no, I think we're gonna go with the first one. We're really glad we did. So that really also took a lot of stress off, because again, when you're planning a wedding, you don't really understand how many things go into it. I mean, you have to think, you have to have a florist, you have to have a DJ, you have to have, like, food, you have to have a bar. There's a lot of regulations within the venue itself. Sometimes they're like, oh, you can't have this person, you have to have lighting. They're like, you can't use this, you can only use this guy. And you have to have tables, chairs. Like, if you have the time, go for it. Like, email all these people. But I will say that a planner can save you a lot of work. And not only that, he could also save you a lot of money. You gotta think about the budget, because weddings can get pretty expensive, and if you're having a wedding of 10 grand, maybe it wouldn't be worth it to get a planner, because a planner can go up to like $3,000, $4,000. But I know you're spending a lot of this, but they are working hard, and they're working with you for everything, and they'll be there during, the day of coordination, which is just people who are going to be there setting up, taking down. You really got to look into all those things, because again, you can DIY things, you can bring stuff to the wedding venue itself, but who's going to take all that stuff down? You really got to think about all these things. So that's what I mean, is like, just check out YouTube. There's plenty of wedding planners giving their own advice. I did something really dumb when I was planning my wedding. So a big thing for me is photography and videography. I knew I really wanted that from the very beginning. Like, I love that stuff. I'm the type of person that, like, for birthdays, for holidays, I will sit down and watch all these videos. Like, heck, I'd probably, like, sit down and watch all these cute little, wedding videos now. So I wanted my own. And I was so stressed, and I wasn't really trusting my planner. I don't know. Like, I know, again, your planner probably has a lot of other weddings going on, too. So I started getting very stressed out and started researching photographers by myself in Miami. And again, like, you don't really know these prices. Like, you don't know how much, like, I personally didn't. I didn't know how much a photographer, like, would charge, especially for a wedding, for like 8 hours of service. You don't really think about these things. So I started researching these people, and I'm like, this is so much, I can't, And when I left it up to my planner, he was doing his own work. He came back with me, and I'm telling you, I spent a whole day researching, and he came back to me at the end of the day. He's like, by the way, I found this photographer, she's really good, she can give you a discounted price for this. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, I was looking at photographers that cost like twice the money, $1,000 over budget, $2,000 over budget. And she's sitting here bringing me more than I even wanted for a lower budget and good quality pictures. So that's what I'm saying, is like, get yourself a planner. The planner knows things, they know what they're doing, they do this is their livelihood. Leave it to the planner. Do not stress yourself out. You got a planner for a what reason? Focus, Of course, there's things that you may want to do on your own, but consult your planner. Talk to him or her about it. So that's what I would really recommend, is having a planner, because that just really saved our butts. Like, even when we were in Kazakhstan, he was still planning stuff. Like, it would have been insane if I was in school trying to like answer all these emails from different people, because, you know, just again, like just searching for photography, it took me like all day. Just don't make rush decisions. Think about it. Don't feel bad. I personally can take forever to make a decision on things, but it's your wedding. Like, do what's best for you. Focus on what you want, you know? This is your wedding. This is your day. I'm going to get into like more about what has happened during this pandemic. So again, this is where a planner comes in handy. Oh my goodness, not saying that you're gonna have to deal with pandemics, but if you do, and you got a planner, that helps a lot. Again, do not make rush decisions. Like, I'm saying this now. So my planner and I were talking, and so far, like, all of his weddings were moved to next year. And, you know, like, he still is, like, he's very strong. He's like, relax, it's gonna be fine. You know, you still have time. So, I kind of just trusted in him. They have contacts. They know people, you know, they know the people at these venues in Miami, and he can contact. I was talking to him. He's like, you should basically just have a plan B date. And that was a good idea. I mean, that kind of did stress me out too, because it's like a plan B date. Like, how am I gonna have a plan B date? Who's gonna come? Friends and family coming from all over the country. So, but we have a plan B date, and again, it's just really big on like whoever needs to be there will be there. We've handled it pretty well, while other of his clients have just, as soon as they heard about the pandemic, moved it till like next year. So it's funny now, because we are now his like only clients. Like, we were like number 12 on his list. And now basically all of his focus and his work focus is on helping us plan for our wedding, which is really nice. You know, I feel pretty good. I feel pretty like I'm not alone in this. And I'm not alone. And like, of course my fiance's there. But if you are a lady and to like want everything to go a certain way, I'm not saying all brides are like that, but most are, I feel. So, and like, I feel like most of the guys are just like, they care. Because my fiance gets mad when I say he doesn't care. Of course he cares, but it's to a different level. Okay, let's just have some dandelions. We'll put them on, you know, the tables. Like, he's not really into, you know, he doesn't really go into detail when it comes to weddings. So me, who I love to go into extreme detail of like what I want, it can get a little annoying. This is what I want to say to a lot of you, especially to my Jesus lovers out there. This is your wedding. While it is extremely important, it is only one day. It's one day. Glenn and I decided to go and partake in marriage counseling through our church. No, we're not having any problems, but we were reading this book called Saving Your Marriage Before It Even Begins. And that really helped. And we took some tests and stuff, and it really showed how compatible we are, like what we do expect with coming into marriage, like what we expect from one another. And it really taught me a lot about his needs, and he learned a lot about my needs, and I just feel like all of that is extremely important, and sometimes they do get looked over. Really, do not forget about that. That is so important. And another thing, if you are getting stressed out and things aren't looking your way, like a big thing that I can say is just pray. God has helped us so much and helped our anxiety level. So really do that and focus on your marriage, because that's what it's all about. You don't want to just get married, have like this huge $40 grand wedding, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I don't really like you. You know, I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but it does happen sometimes. A lot of things that this pandemic has showed me is I don't really have to go out and like, even as much as I wanted to go out and like try my jewelry on, try my shoes on, do this and that, because that's me. Like, I do not like online shopping. I have never really liked online shopping. I like to go out, try things on, see how it feels. But I've learned to love the online world. There are a lot of options for you to go and check things out. Like, you can't go to your favorite shop or something. There are options online. So I went to Etsy, and we kind of like took time to order our rings. And that was the bad thing, is like we couldn't go to an actual jeweler and try our rings on, which was like really annoying. So what we did is we went on Etsy for me, and I looked at all the rings, and I found ring that I really liked. Like, you have all these ring options I was able to find at a decent price. And so I was just stressed out on shipping. But the shipping came really quick. I would say, like, if you are worried and you're getting too close to the date, like, pay the few extra dollars and get it faster so that if you don't like it, you can return it. And honestly, this whole returning process isn't as stressful as I thought. I started ordering some of my jewelry, my veil online, and honestly, I haven't had any problem with it at all. So, bonus. And there's no hurt. Like, if you get it, most of them, you can just ship it back and you can get your money back. So I don't think there's a problem with that. I'll let you know how it goes. I mean, I feel like everything is really, like, falling into place. I've really prayed over that a lot, and honestly, it's good to, like, start planning, like, what would you do if your wedding is canceled, because things can happen. Not even a pandemic, a hurricane, a tornado, like, bad weather can really ruin your wedding too. Not tattoo the date on you, your wedding date on you, before you even get married. Not a good idea. Anything can happen. Don't, like, be so focused that this is going to be our wedding day. So that's another thing that we, as soon as the pandemic hit, like, we decided not to put the wedding date on things. I mean, except obviously the invitations. Again, like I was stating before about doing things online, I appreciate it so much more now. Like, I was so upset with, like, Zoom meetings, like, how am I going to do classes on Zoom? But honestly, I really got a lot of love from Zoom. Like, for one of our ceremonies, it was online, and it was going to be through Zoom. And at first, I was kind of upset. I was like, my goodness, like, I wish we could just be in a physical place with our family members there. Like, this is annoying. And while I did feel like that for some time, and I understand my feelings for that, there was just something beautiful on doing our ceremony through Zoom, because we just told our family, like, hey, this is when the ceremony is going to be, we're all going to get on Zoom. And it's like, people who weren't even going to go to the actual physical ceremony were able to attend our virtual ceremony. And so it was just something beautiful to have all of our family there. My bridal party, not all of us live in one town, so we did, like, Zoom meetings. Like, we had 2 Zoom meetings, and it was really nice because, like, you want to talk to your bridal party about how they're feeling, because we're also planning our bachelorette party, which so far is supposed to go as planned, which is so, thank God, honestly. So we were able to discuss things like, how are y'all feeling? Are you still feeling okay to go to the wedding? And, like, I even had one person at my bridal party say that she wasn't able to go to the bachelorette party, but she's able to go to the wedding. So it's like things that you need to, like, just check up on. It's really nice to be able to go online and just have a Zoom meeting, and most people can make it, like, they can go join on their phone while they're in the car. So it was really nice to just keep everyone in the loop through using online resources, which, again, like, I guess maybe I'm late to the party, but I feel like I've definitely turned into a person who appreciates all these things much more than before. So yeah, I am going to keep you all updated. I am definitely going to post my wedding video once it happens. So yeah, those are my biggest tips that I gave today, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!